Good morning everybody, Dvon here and welcome back to the Angling Giant YouTube channel. Today we are at Barnburgh Lakes, which is a local pond to us, prolific for its F1 fishing. We're on Top Lake today. It's promising to be a good day, really nice weather as I'm sure you can tell. Fish are topping everywhere, so hopefully we can get some of that tap tap boom shallow action for you. That's certainly my plan today. What I'll do, I'll spin you around, let you have a look at peg, and then we'll come back when we're all set up. So here we are, top pond, and we've drawn peg 1. It ain't a bad peg at all. We've got a spare peg there, we've got a spare peg to that side. And island's just reachable at 16 metre with a nice reed bed there as well. Camera woman, bank runner and all round wing woman Charlotte's here. And then we're also fishing with Grandad just over there on peg 27. So yeah, it's looking good. Like I said, we're all set up. So we'll have a look at some rigs, go through his bait and hopefully get a few fish. Right guys, so let's have a quick look through his rigs, keeping it nice and simple today. We've got 3 shallow rigs. First on a shallow kit, we've got a 10 to 12 in this, so slightly thicker than we need. And we're just running that with a Jigga. Overshotted Jigga as well. So really nice and simple. That runs from 6 inch all the way down to about 5.5 foot. And then we've got 2 overshotted rigs on a 8 to 10 and a 6 to 8. This one is a 0.1 DT float, overshotted by 1 number 8. And like I said, that one's about 2.5 foot. And then coming up a bit shallower on softer elastic, another 0.1 skittle from DT float. Again, overshotted by just 1 number 8. That one's at about 1.5 foot. Obviously, if we need to go a bit deeper, we'll just dip his top kits in or throw them on fluid. And then we've got a 0.2 DT, I think they call these Diddy Diamonds. We've got this on a slightly thicker elastic up to a 14. And this one is set up for both top 2 plus 3 and 13 metres because it sort of slopes down and back up. All of us rigs today, we've got 16 bands on, with exception to his last rig, which is his margin rig. So we've plumbed up left and right, found a spot with both margins at same. This one we've got a 0.2 skittle, again DT on that. Now this one is to an elastic that they're into fishing here, going to pull more than 4 or 5 inch out. Set up to an 18 to 20 TKS, and that's because we're also going to fish this over to reeds behind us. So when we hit into them, we want to be pulling them straight out, no messing about. And again down to a size 16. So like I said, nice and simple today. And I'll show you what we're going to be fishing on the end of them hooks. So here's his bait tray today. We've got 7 pints of casters with us. We've got some Miracle Baits expander, just in case they're not coming shallow. Some F1 sweet corn, fishery pellets, and then we've got some ground bait and some ground bait slop and dead reds. Like I said, nice and simple, but it should work. Right, so time started. We're going to start off 2 plus 3 on Jigga, and what we're hoping to do is find where them fish are feeding. Now you're going to hear me wince, groan and grunt today because we've managed to hurt his shoulder somehow. And because we're fishing so short up, we're going to be using that underhand fling quite a lot. So what we're doing, we're using the big clump of trees in front of us, so like 2 or 3 trees twisted to each other as a far bank marker. I'm just going to start off on Jigga. Hope we can't tempt some of them up in water. The beauty of shallow fishing is once they show up, as long as you feed right, you can keep them there. And the hard bit of shallow fishing is getting them there. So what I'm going to do is just continue to feed this line, constantly moving this rig up and down that water column. And there we go, look. Heading straight under that platform. Don't think you do, pal. Yeah, first one up there. A little left one. And we're off the mark. So we're fishing with banded caster. And the beauty of that is, if you don't get caught up in your keep net, you're back out fishing in a matter of seconds. Just constantly keep small pinches of casters going in. Constantly moving that rig. On this rig, you don't want that hook to be in a set position for any more than half a second. You're going to be falling down at the same rate as you believe your casters are. So up when you throw in and falling through water. Relatively slow casters don't sink too fast. And then jig it up. I won't say violently, but with a bit of force. And that will loop your hook bait back up in water. And it drives everyone's mad. So we did catch quite quick, but we're not getting fish regularly enough just yet. So we just need to keep putting that bait in. So what I'm going to keep doing is slinging them casters, jigging this rig, and then once we've got them turned on properly, we'll come back and hopefully have a bit of carnage on camera for you. Fucking skimmers, we don't want them. I'll say it's right carpet, innit? Shredding fucking tail. Knew it. So Wingwoman Charlotte, like an eagle-eyed little spotter, has been watching Dana's margin to his left. And she's seen a lot of rustle and tussle. So being the A-star angling coach that she is, said, why don't you try down there? So we did, and we've caught. But the only issue is, this elastic is a bit light. That is a lovely F1, fucking hell.
It's a big one.
It's not a carp either, that.
What?
It's an F1.
I was like a carp.
They're a carp species, aren't they? There's some big F1s in here, isn't there? I'd have put a quid on that bit of carp. I'll just charge people a £5 to watch that bit. So can you remember that last video where I said that we're going to clatter a lot of stuff because we're trying a new setup? Well, we didn't like that setup, so we decided we were just going to go back to how we used to have it and fish comfortable. And then we've come here and unfortunately camera woman can't sit at my right hand side, so we've had to come up with another new setup. So we're probably going to clatter a few things today as well. So, like I said before, I have plumbed a swim up at that, over at that far bank, so just 16 metres. But unfortunately, looking at it, my shoulder injury, I don't even know what I've done to it, but we'll call it a shoulder injury. Ain't gonna let us fish out there. It's just not comfortable. I can't feed properly. And we've left us rods at home, so we can't drop a little method over there either. But we've definitely not got them feeding shallow properly today. So the options we've got are to persevere, hope they turn up later in March and have a blinding last few hours. I'll change it up and feed over that big bed of bait that we've got down there. The issue we face then is if we send them down, it's almost impossible to get back up, because once they realise there is a big bed of bait, they want to stay on it. Now, interestingly, this is the pond, and probably just a couple of pegs that way, that I were actually taught how to fish shallow. And Grandad brought me up one day just as I'd restarted fishing about 3 years ago. So I'm going to show you something. It takes a bit of getting used to. On places like this, if you can master it, it'll do you well. It'll see you perform, especially when you're pleasure fishing, 'cause that's all I did back then. And there's only a couple on lake. You'll have a good day. So he showed me how to use Jigga, and well, I had a good day. Caught a couple of fish, more than I'd caught since I'd been back fishing. I thought, I'm going to give that a go. So a couple of weeks later, I said to my granddad, I said, do you want to go back up to Barnburgh? I'll have another go at that jigging. And he said, yeah. It's the first time I'd ever beat him. We had a little, we're just counting fish. We didn't have any scales, we were just pleasure fishing. And since then, it's been one of my favourite ways of fishing. Now, every time we've come on since then, we've had a brilliant day either jigging or most recently Overshotted. But today there's just absolutely no joy at all. A big F1 just cruising surface at top of us. Flicking near him. No, it's turned away. You don't want none of that. And now all that scum that's been blowing around the pond is making its way into our swim net. So fish are either going to move away from it because they want to bask in its sun, or if they are still looking for shade, then it might bring them in. You know, if they're swimming under it. But we'll soon find out. They're not going under that platform, pal. Whew. They do like to head under platforms here, I'll give them that. But again, a nice F1. But yeah, so we're trying to fish up in water, we can't get them feeding, and then when we try and fish on bottom, this scum starts moving in. So what it is, it's the fluff off the trees in front of us. It really is like cotton fluff, and that moves. Thanks, Swan. That moves in, and then we can't get his rig laid. So we can't fish on bottom properly. They're not feeding up in water. So all I'm going to do is persevere with this overshotted rig and hope that they eventually just turn up. I need to think about baiting up this left hand margin. So there's been some fish basking. When we do get a couple of fish back to back, they're just these little skimmers. But if they're coming one a chuck, I'll take them. But when you're waiting 3-4 minutes for a bite, and that's all that's coming, not good enough. We have got an F1 investigating them casters we've just thrown in. And this is definitely not a mugging rig we've got on. I've turned his head. Yeah, you'll not be able to see on water, but we've got an overshotted rig and it's struggling to sink through all this fluff that's on surface, and then as you're dragging it through water it gets gathered on your line and then you're floating. But it is something that in turn is affecting everybody on pond, because it's like a moat lake, this big circling island in the middle, and all it's doing is making its way around. The wind changes and it goes the opposite way. Because them casters alone weren't really working for us, they weren't really attracting fish, what I've done is I've made some miracle baits, 4mm expanders, which I showed you earlier, and we sprinkled some Fuca sensate on them. I'm hoping what that does is creates a bit more cloudy water, trying to attract them fish. And we're feeding them quite sparingly, so we're literally using it to sort of attract them fish, but they will settle on bottom, and we need to try and keep them up in water as much as possible. And you can probably see on water now we've got a bit of a carpet in front of us. And that's exactly what's happened most at March. We'll catch a fish, go back out, do exactly the same, get another, and then that's it. Grandad seems to be doing alright to his right anyway. That's a nice one. So while he's on feed, at least it's an F1 and not one of them skimmers. Unfortunately, because of that carpet on water, we're spending way too much time out of water cleaning his line off. It's like, say, this fluff stuff. Even. So I'm just using my mouth to pull it off. Which is vile, but needs must. Even on an overshotted, it's excuse me, causing his bait to float. And this is why I know I'll struggle to ever compete in an open here and get the lucrative £200, because we spend far too much time out at water. Now, one of my subscribers did comment on my last video with a bit of feedback, saying just a bit quicker, a bit of feedback, you just need to work on your technique out at water, and I couldn't agree more. It's 100% one of the weak points of my fishing, is the amount of time we spend not fishing. So yeah, sorry mate, I forgot your name, or your channel name at least, but I 100% agree. We're all fingers and thumbs when we're out at water, and it takes far too long to get fishing again. So I'm forgetting to click, so we'll give them two £5 between them. Adding on a couple of skimmers we've had as well. Not be a million mile off. Yeah, we've picked up a lot of crap around this float. Another issue, we're having a lot of scum on top. When you're fishing with such a delicate bait, such as a caster, as you're drawing that back out of water to slap, you risk sort of grabbing a leaf, grabbing a bit of fluff, and it just pulling your caster out your band. Now, while we're not catching so much, I'm going to tell you about a match that we've signed up to fish at Barnburgh Lakes. I think it's July 19th. Now, we also have a TikTok page where we don't upload as much as we do on YouTube, but we've been approached by Mark Richardson, or MR Angling on TikTok, and Des Clark, who've arranged a match called the TikTok Masters. So what it is all of the match fishing content creators have been invited to fish match at Lindholm, and we gratefully accepted that invitation, so we're going to be fishing that. There's some fantastic anglers in that. One sec while I get this hook out. That's a lovely F1, you'll not be able to see it, but look at Boeing there. Looks like you'd be excused for mistaking them as carp. They've got no barbules, so they're F1s. So yeah, we're going to be fishing TikTok Masters on 19th. Now, it's called TikTok Masters because most of the people are TikTokers, but I will be filming the lot and putting it on YouTube. But if you do want to see sort of, content from that with other anglers and other content creators, head on over to my TikTok page. Excuse me. Name's exactly the same as it is on YouTube, Angling Giant. A lot more short form content on there. A few clips from us recent days at Bank End, catching bigger carp on Waggler. If you're into that, head on over. And also have a look at MR Angling. She's got a lot of details about the TikTok Masters. And if you're on TikTok and you do a little bit of uploading on there fishing content, have a word with him or Des Clark, because I'm sure there's a few spaces left. It's just 40 quid. And then everything other than pegging fees is paid out. And there's some fantastic sponsors on that as well. Primary bait sponsor is Bait Tech. DT Floats are sponsoring it as well. There's a few prizes of DT Floats which we all know I love. And I know Des will be watching this video when it eventually gets uploaded, so cheers pal, thank you for uploading that. Thank you for sorting that out, I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully we fish a bit better than we are today. Nobody. I used to have made a mess of that rig. She's just covered in fucking tree fluff. And the fact that I'm having to bite it off, it's not nice. Not the nice at all. You can't present bait properly covered in floating fucking fluff. Now thank the Lord for the Guru Speedbander, because we're in pain with your shoulder, we're shaking like a shiting dog today, and I can barely band a caster with this, never mind we out. If you do fish caster a lot, especially a banded caster, have a look at Guru Speedbander. Big enough for a caster and a 4mm pellet. And if you've got absolute shovels or hands that don't do what your brain tells them to, like I have, they do come in handy. The fish just trying to pop its head up on the surface, start to us right, and it can barely get its head through water because of all this fluff. Jigga, bloke to me right, he's fucking pond skimming to get it out on his swim. Right. I'm going to persevere now on this shallow line. Just keep spraying them casters, we've got enough. I think we throw about 4 pints up to press. And there we go, that one's raw enough. So what they do, they swim straight towards you and try and get under your platform here. They're not daft, these fish. know what you're doing, don't you, you sneaky little bleeder? I thought that one I'd done us a favour and unhooked it then because it's hardly got a gob. Alright. It's got the smallest mouth in the world. And it's swallowed that hook. There we go, that troublemaker's been disgorged. Yeah, surprised it managed to get that caster in its gob. A mouth probably the size of a 5p piece. Definitely suffered from some hooking on here, bless it. And it had swallowed it, and I could only just get tippet disgorger into its mouth. And my hands are filthy. My towel's down there. Looking very sorry for itself, absolutely sodden to core. It fell into my keep and I managed to just get it before it sunk. I'm hoping this wind isn't bothering this microphone too much. I've got it clipped to my hat and it's pointing out towards wind, and I'm hoping it's still pretty clear. It should be. So I just had a few choruses around pond of how you doing all? So it looks like everybody's struggling. Because there's an island, we can't see it other side of the pond, so they could be absolutely bagging. Or at least everybody on our section's struggling. Gentleman to his left's had one or two. And Gina to his right, who won't be in our section because I'm peg 1. He's 27. He's had a few as well. Like I say, we're been bombarded by this carpet. I'm reluctant to slap. I'm literally waiting for a window in water before I slap my rig over. I need that wind to carry on blowing in this direction so it keeps going, because I can see a bit of a clear patch. So I've bought casters this week from 2 separate places. I got a few pints Friday morning from Angling Direct, and I got a few pints yesterday afternoon from Independent Tackle and Bait in Doncaster. I can honestly say, if you're close enough to each, make sure you go to Independent Tackle and Bait for your casters, because the ones I got from Angling Direct, unfortunately, we had about 12 flies in there by the time I got to the pond this morning, and them casters have been in fridge. I think probably 20 minutes from shop to our house, so it's not like they've been out to turn. But the ones from Independent Tackle have, well, they're still golden. And it's a warm old day. I think we're up to about 22 degrees now. Right, they've turned off again, so I'm going to keep on flicking these casters, and we'll come back once we've got a bit of a run going. while we're out at water, I just wanted to take the opportunity just to mention a bit of something I'm doing for charity. So throughout the month of May, I'm doing a 100-mile challenge. So basically it's to walk 100 miles throughout the month of May to raise money for prostate cancer research. So there'll be a link in the description to this video. If you do fancy chucking a quid, couple of quid, whatever, into donation pot, they're all very gratefully received. And there won't be much, if any, content about it on the channel other than me mentioning it in my videos, because it's not really what we do. But there'll also be a link in this video to a video of my mate, the Yorkshire Walker, which is my best mate Jamie. He does walking videos, that's his content, and we went on a walk with him through the moors in Halifax, through Ogden Clough. If you do want to watch it, there'll be a link in this description to that video, along with donation link for both of us charity pages. Yeah, don't feel, obviously you ain't got to donate, but if you want to, options there. So we're in the last 20 minutes at March now, and to say we've had a stinker and be an understatement. We've damaged the joint to a 13-metre section, so we'll be taking a trip to Andy at Paul's Tackle for that one, and then this sort of debris on water has caused us no ender issue. We had a solid hour where we couldn't even get a rig in water because it was just so thick in front of us. I'm tipping high 30s up to press, and 20 minutes left. We might get a couple more, tip us up to that 40, possibly 50 mark if we're lucky. They are up in water, but by the time you've slapped an overshotted rig over once or twice, you're having to bring it in, clean your line because it's floating. Because it's, only way I can describe it is it's like dandelion fluff covering water. Like I say, once it settles in front of your peg, a bit like it is doing now for us, giving you ruck in water is a bloody task. Right, they've turned back on for the last sort of 20 minutes, which if we can keep them going, we might get another £10. Oh no, that's a nightmare. Top kits are blown everywhere. I'll sort that out after this fish, and I can already tell there is some right gunk on that line. This might be foul hooked. No, might just be a nice fish. This stage in March I'm usually bullying them in, but I don't want to lose fish at this point now. Once again trying to get under that platform. It's not big, but it does weigh some. I'll show you this line in a minute. You can probably see it online here. Just absolutely strewed. It looks like we've run over a rabbit. So yeah, fishery owners, if you're listening, I know these trees look pretty, but your customers fucking hate them. Because with 10 minutes to go, I'm trying to pull all this off at line because it fucking floats. Yeah, exactly as I said, look, that line won't even sink. If you've watched this far in the video, first off, well done, I appreciate that. Second off, what did you all think to the Miracle Baits review and live match? Because if it is something that goes down well, be that us fishing against sort of a company owner, or us fishing with family, or just bait reviews in general, just let me know what you thought of it, so we can get more of that stuff on go. Has it tempted you to try Miracle Baits? Oh, nobody. So again, get a wiggle, drag that rig in. I'll just ask Charlotte, zoom in on water, can you see scum? Just have a look, see if you can see that. And see how we're fishing in a minute. We're lucky that first few hours at match we managed to avoid it. We managed to get a few fish, but I think I threatened to go home at least twice. Fishing with a dodgy shoulder and holding my scent funny. My back's gone. I'm just a big moan box today. And there's not even going to be a brown envelope to cheer us up. But the good news is, we're in a pairs league, and guy to my right is our pairs partner. He's caught well today, and I think I've done enough to keep us in tournament. So the way that it works, it's a knockout. So lowest weight pairs each week gets knocked out. And I think me and Jigga have probably done enough to stay in this week. Because other than guy to his immediate left, guys down that end have done no but exclaim how shit it's been. And I've just moaned how I could have done better. Oh, bonus. That fish has unhooked its scent for us. And if he's left that pellet, he hasn't. Cheeky bugger. I'm going to say if he's left that pellet, that's even better. Whilst we're here as well, I just want to say thank you to our channel members. So we've got as original members Charlotte and Jamie. So thank you very much. And then we've got J Dubs and Mike Bailey. Thank you very much. And most recently, our channel regular and one of the people that never miss a Premier, Slinks. Thank you very much for joining as well. This next fish is for you members. If we get one, because there's only 5 minutes left. And for the people that watch this far and are watching it premiere, have a guess on the final weight. So my guesstimates are high 30s to mid 40s. That's high 30s to mid 40 poundish. So give us your guesses below in live chat. Alpha, I'm looking at you. You're usually good at this. That rig is absolutely annihilating now. And by the looks of it, Grandad's done well today as well. I wonder if he's sharing. I doubt it. We're going to leave camera out for weigh-in, so I'll get mine. So I should be first, and we'll get Grandad's as well. Here we go. This fish is for us channel members. Thank you. Sorry guys, you're not having a fish. It's come out. Now in fishing matches, the right thing to do when that happens is ask what noise does a microwave make. Ping! And this is Leah's last chance of a fish now, so we'll go balls to walls. Full pot, big handful. In fact, I think we went, Billy's watch is a bit faster than ours. I think we went in before 10, so we might not even get a chance to settle this float. Hopefully we get to shout the favourite words in match fishing. Fish on. But it's not looking like it because we can't even get rig to settle. Have some sweaty casters fish. And some very red pellets. Oh, no signs of life around that float. It's time. So, like I said guys, now that there's an helicopter right above us, we're going to get weighed in, well, we're going to get packed up, we'll get weighed in. I hope you can hear me. Very big helicopter. Very big and very low. Yup. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to get packed up and then I'll film my weigh in and Grandad's weigh in and see how much he's whooped us by. See you in a bit.
He's right. You whooped me. £20.15.
Good enough to win. There's no way I'm good enough to fuck you with this. I'm not joining the boat.
I only put 5 in. I put it in. Got Johnny money on it. That's all I do.
Ben joined the boat.
That's not biting, is it?
Fuck, it's proper wound me up today, that.
Got all that shit.
£31 dead.
Oh, 50 off.
More than I thought. Thank you very much. What did you weigh in? 54?
55.
55?
I'd worked the land and land with that stuff.
Fuck it, I lost my temper with it.
The thing is, you couldn't even clean it off the line because it's like knotted up.
I said, while it's wet, you ain't got a chance.
Yeah, sat doing them. We were doing like boxing.
If I'd have not lost my temper, I'd have done a lot better, but... And then my pole section went and that were it, I was gone, head gone.
Yeah, I heard that. What section was that then? It was like 5.
11.5 metre.
Oh, 6.15.
I'm getting good at this now, Baz. Not going over. Oh, what are you saying, Johnny? No.
Get him a...
Let's do that now.
I don't have a way with putting them back. 24-11.
Hold on, Barry.
Hold on, bud.
Well done, bud. He's going. What is it? 71.
71.